All right, so we are just over a week away from some of the most important elections across the country. I'm going to be kicking off on a road trip. It's actually called Driving the Vote. I'm going to speak to voters across the country on the issues that matter to them the most. And I already know that crime is definitely on the top of that list, which is why we are seeing district attorneys in Democratic cities being taken on by Republicans who call them weak on crime. And one of the cities where that is happening is Philadelphia. Liberal DA Larry Krasner is fighting for his job against a newly retired judge, a registered Democrat, who is actually running as a Republican, promising to restore law and order to the city. So how does he plan to do that in Philly? Judge Patrick Dugan joins me live now. Judge Dugan, thank you for being with me. First of all, I'm trying to understand this. So you are a Democrat, but you are running on the Republican side. How did that happen?
So yes, I'm a registered Democrat. I lost in the primary, but the Republicans wrote me in. They didn't have a candidate, and I received 7,000 write-in votes in basically an election where Republicans weren't turning out in the primary, but enough of them came out to get me over that threshold. So I had 53,000 Democrats vote for me. I had 7,000 Republicans write me in. So I accepted the Republican nomination. I'm still a Democrat, but I'm truly a Philadelphian. I'm running for Republicans. I'm running for Democrats. I've been endorsed by the Forward Party, Andrew Yang's party recently. So I am urging voters to leave their jerseys at home. We don't need the red jerseys, the blue jerseys, the green jerseys. We need people to come out and vote for the victims, for the safety on our streets, which right now, it's not happening. We have the fox in the hen house, a civil rights defense attorney who basically does not prosecute violent criminals. And it is crazy. It's insane. I'm calling Larry Krasner a co-conspirator on some of these murders, because if you have violent criminals in your sights, there are cases against them that you can put them away, and you don't do it, you fail to do it properly, then they come out and they kill somebody else. I'm calling him a co-conspirator, like this most recent murder of this poor, beautiful 23-year-old vibrant woman, Kata Scott. This is something that's right at the feet of Larry Krasner.
Yeah, and that is the case, Judge, that got me interested in this race, because I started reading about the Kata Scott case, and this is this woman right here. This just happened in the last couple of weeks. This is a beautiful young woman, had gone to college, aspiring beauty queen, working in elder care. I mean, just a lovely woman who was murdered by a man named Keon King. And come to find out, this man, there he is right there, had been in trouble before on kidnapping charges, on serious charges, and the DA has now admitted that he made a mistake and dropped the charges. How did that happen, Judge?
Well, he's admitting a mistake on this one, but I've seen this for the last 8 years. It's the reason why somebody like me stepped off the bench from a job that I loved tremendously. So Keon King had another case, had a couple cases in front of the courts prior to this murder of this beautiful young lady. There were kidnapping charges. His DAs are not trained. I'm not making that up. The attorneys that leave the office, they've written letters to the editor saying that the training is bizarre. They're not teaching us how to prosecute. So they're left hanging out to dry with no supervision, no mentorship. They did not file an appeal for a bail that was low on Mr. Keon King. They did not refile the charges after the victim did not come to court. But what they didn't do, they had video evidence. It's a preliminary hearing. They could put the case up without the victim. They could use the police officer, they could use body cam, and they could use the video from the victim. They failed to do it. So they withdrew the charges. They did not refile charges. And worse than that, there was another case that was being worked out right at that point, was being investigated. And there was a new arrest warrant on Keon King. He was in court 3 times, and the prosecutor never alerted the judge, the police, or the sheriff to take Keon King into custody for that other incident. The failure is directly on Larry Krasner, and he does it on purpose.
It's enraging because that young woman could be alive if they had kept him behind bars and not dropped the charges. And again, it's something that got me very interested in this race. Something else I'm interested in Philadelphia, as you know, is the Ellen Greenberg case, which we've covered extensively here. Chris has covered it. We've covered it on NewsNation. The young woman from Philly, teacher, stabbed more than 20 times. There's her picture there. Stabbed in the back, stabbed in the spinal cord. First called a homicide, then changed to suicide. Then you had the medical examiner say, well, I don't really know that it's suicide anymore. Now a new medical examiner says it's suicide. And a lot of people believe there's been no justice for Ellen Greenberg. What are your thoughts on that? Is there anything you could do as DA on that front, Judge?
So if I can win and become the next district attorney in the city of Philadelphia, what I can promise that I will do, because there's obvious issues in this case. It was looked at by the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. It was looked by the Attorney General. It was looked at by the Chester County District Attorney's Office as well. There are still a ton of questions. We've all seen a documentary. We've seen people that are saying, what the heck is going on here? Well, I've spoken to some seasoned homicide prosecutors and detectives, a couple of them who actually saw some of the file. And based off of all that, if I win, I am going to sit down with seasoned attorneys, prosecutors, homicide prosecutors, and detectives and do a thorough review and then make my determination on whether or not this case should go ahead and move forward. But I must do due diligence and read the entire file with the team, and then I would make a decision on that.
Okay.
Because there are some obvious mistakes were made in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But for Ellen and her parents, this needs to be looked at again with some fresh eyes.
Yeah, it's obvious there were mistakes. I want to bring in Ellen Greenberg's parents now. They're also going to join us live. Sandy and Josh Greenberg, they've been listening to the conversation. Sandy, I want to ask you your reaction to Judge Dugan saying if he's elected, he would take a look at the case and then decide whether to reinvestigate. I mean, that's not something that I've heard from very many people in Philly.
Music to our ears. From his mouth to God's ears. We need, Larry Krasner was our personal attorney. And then when he ran for office, he had a conflict of interest. But what he's not telling everyone is he had more than a conflict of interest because he never returned our personal file that he withheld. And he did a lot of other very disingenuous, unprofessional, unethical things.
Josh, is there anything, because we've still got Judge Dugan here, is there anything you want to ask him? I mean, anything you want to say to him, considering he's running in the elections in a week or so, a little over a week?
It's hard to say. My knowledge of the case is probably more extensive than his, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I do appreciate his saying the words he does and offering his help if he's elected. But the Ellen's case, I mean, if you look at even this last medical examiner, it's so bogus. She talks about anxiety as a cause of death. Ellen was anxious. Her psychiatrist said she's anxious. This medical examiner never even spoke to her psychiatrist. But anxiety doesn't lead to suicide. So the whole thing from the top down, the first expert, Cyril Wecht. Now that name should ring a lot of bells among the people who really know what's going on in this world in medical legal. Cyril Wecht was a professional pathologist and was an investigator in these type of things. And he said right away, women don't kill themselves anymore using knives. So Ellen's case from that is bogus. And then if you look at the wounds on the rendering we have, the computer generated, nothing there is deep enough to cause death. The only wounds are the head, right? See, look how superficial those knife wounds are.
Yeah.
They almost don't penetrate. The back of the neck, the head, and the chest.
And she did have defensive wounds, unlike what Dr. Simon.
Well, and Sandy, to me, that diagram we're looking at right there has always told the story. I mean, you see that and you realize, how could someone do that to themselves? We only have a few seconds left, Judge. Quickly to you. I mean, if you don't win, do you think the feds could get involved, Judge? Because it seems like that's the only other option at this point?
You would hope somebody would, because there are so many obvious questions and details in here that really have to be turned over, because a lot of it just doesn't make sense. But I also agree with Sandy about the ethics of Larry Krasner. He constantly gets fined for ethics violations. Judges call him out. Judges have called Larry Krasner a liar at the Supreme Court level, at the state level, at the municipal court level, in federal court. So this man has virtually zero ethics. So I'm not surprised that he did this on a case like that, Sandy, Josh. And my heart goes out to you. And whether I win or not, I would still like to try to be an advocate and sit down and talk to you further about this. But I have to tell you, I have not reviewed the file. But if I win, I will. And if I don't, I would also like to get involved with trying to look at it for you and, see what I could do to help you.
Judge Patrick Dugan,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, sorry we don't have more time. Josh and Sandy, it's always nice to see you. I'll talk with you soon. Thank you all for coming on tonight.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.